Greetings, chosen ones. I'm back with another video. Peace and blessings to you all. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're out there being more than conquerors, doing great things for your friends, for your family, and your communities, all for the glory of God. So today I want to touch on semen retention while in a relationship. You know, it's thought of as something that is done by single men, and yeah, that's true in a lot of cases. But you know, is it possible while married in a relationship? And it completely is. You know, I remember reading about this idea back in when was it, 2006 or 7. I haven't been practicing semen retention that long, but it's something I actually attempted to start back at that time. You know, I was someone who was you know, seeking out. I started on a spiritual quest, put it that way. So, you know, I was really just hungry for seeking, you know, what is the truth behind all that? What is the spiritual truth? So in those early days, you know, I did stumble across this idea of men that, you know, they're in a relationship, they have a wife, but they're not releasing. You know, and the idea was that, you know, it was actually bringing them closer as a couple through you know, not releasing. You know, they was having sexual relations but not releasing. And it was an idea I was quite interested in at the time. You know, I was actually married at the time. I'm no longer married, but so it gives you an indication where I'm going with this. But it was my ex-wife was not really interested in the spiritual dimension of life at all. And I do believe that kind of sparked, you know, a breakup. You know, it was around that time that things started, you know, kind of going south in that department. So this is the thing I want to bring up, is it is possible, but you really need to be in a relationship with a woman who's on the same page as you. You know, if she's not on the same page, or she's not interested, doesn't understand it, thinks it's wacky, thinks it's crazy, it's going to cause problems. Okay, so that it's worth knowing that, you know. So really, you know, this is the thing. A man really needs a woman who is in his corner, who's on the same page as him. You know, is of the same sort of mindset. And I do understand that people can grow apart, but I also believe, you know, a lot of the time people just seek to make do in relationships, and people ignore a lot of red flags prior to getting into relationships. You know, they'll see things about a person and they'll let it slide, when really they should pay attention to red flags and not jump into relationships with women that are exhibiting those red flags. So I think it's really about getting to know where a person is, you know, in their mind, you know, what their thoughts and ideas are. You know, there are certain people that are always seeking knowledge. You know, they're seeking to move forward and get a greater understanding of who they are in the world, you know, what the meaning of life is. And there are some people that really aren't. They're purely focused on the physical world, you know, and the physical things of the world. So that's something that's really worth seeking out. You know, if you are seeking a woman, seeking a wife, then you should really be looking for that, and not settling for something that doesn't measure up to that. And of course, yeah, we can say, well, you're setting the bar too high, and well, unfortunately, you know, in the current world, in the current situation, yeah, it is slim pickings out there. But you know, I think it's something that people really need to do, because I think there's nothing more important than the spiritual dimension to life. I'm a believer in Christ now, so I believe that as someone who is a believer in Christ, then the only option for a man is a woman who is also a believer in Christ. But there are a lot of what I'd call out there carnal Christians who, they kind of follow religion, but they're not really living a spiritual life. So I think that's important to look for in a woman. If you are seeking a woman, is really to just find someone who is on the same page, and really that really comes through getting to know a person, their personality, what they're about, what their values are. We live in a world today where it's all about the physical. And don't get me wrong, I like a nice looking woman, but that shouldn't be the prime motivation. It's very focused on the flesh, and there's the whole spiritual dimension to consider, which I think is very important. I think when it comes to women and relationships and semen retention, it takes a woman with a level of emotional maturity and understanding. There can be all kinds of fears that come up that, are we saving it up for someone else, and things like that. So you do need a very strong foundation. You do need a partner who is secure, not insecure, doesn't need constant reassurance, understands where you're coming from, and can understand why you're doing what you're doing, what semen retention is really about, and as a hunger to seek more knowledge, seek more wisdom, understand things better, and is actually helping you and encouraging you on that journey, which I believe can actually, benefit couples. Like I said, I was reading about this stuff many years ago, about the idea that, it actually brings couples closer if the man isn't constantly releasing during sexual relations. I would also say that, the practice of semen retention while in a relationship is going to take quite a bit of self-control and self-mastery on the part of the man. So that's something you would have to go into with a partner. You'd have to kind of discuss how you're gonna, and I know it kind of flies in the face of the whole idea of spontaneity during lovemaking and all of that, but I think it is something that you'd kind of have to sit down and kind of talk about ahead of time, and to kind of integrate that into, sexual relations. Again, it's one of those things, if you've got a good relationship, you can talk about things, then it shouldn't be a problem. So I think I'll leave it there. So if you like this video, please like, please share, please subscribe, do leave me a comment below, and I'll see you again on the next video.